I want to talk to you about something not tax related. Basically, it's about the obstacles to awakening to your true nature. Already a spiritual being, fully in tune with the divine. There's just an overlay over you, over that aspect of you, that makes you think you're not, and that you have practiced being just a human being way too long, and with it has come from that ignorance a series of maladies that are obscurations or difficulties or blockages that keep you from realizing it in the present moment. And the first one of those is egoism. And by that, I mean, you think you're a person and not what you really are, is the presence of God. That you are a pinpoint of consciousness in a sea of consciousness that can see and know things, but that now, by habit, you have begun to think, oh, I'm just a small I, separate from the divine, separate from all that is, separate from everybody else. That's who I am. And I have my preferences and my dislikes. I have my wins and my losses. I have the things I own and the people I know. I have these things. But in fact, you're much grander than that. The Vedas tell you that you are essentially the divine that uses this body and mind, that has experiences through that, but that you are the experiencer, not the I, not the one who suffers, not the one who is victorious. That's not who you are. That is what your body-mind is doing. What you are is the one who sees all the time, that animates all of that, that animates, is part of what animates everything. So you're in deep with the divine. You're not separate. And so many times we have started here in the West with the idea that you should learn to meditate. But they basically say, don't start meditation until you have the right idea of what you're looking for in meditation. And what you're looking for in meditation is confirmation of this deeper wisdom that allows you to see the foibles of this life and also to see deeply into who you are and recognize your divine presence. This is an important thing if you're on the path to really get that you're not trying to achieve something, you're really trying to pull away the dross over it and see the gold that was always in here, the who of who you really are, the awareness of who you really are. And that's essentially what our job is. We should look really deeply at what egoism has given to us. Because one of the things that comes out of egoism, this egotism is essentially of attachment. I want it to be this way. I can't stand it to be that way. And that's aversion. That this attachment is the beginning of the deep obscuration of who you really are. Things have to be this way and they can't be that way. And we become obsessed with it to be that way, or we spend most of our days working to make it so, leaving little time for us just to be and to feel the experience. And then the other thing that comes out of this is a fear of death. Because if we're an ego, if we're this thing, this body-mind, then we will soon begin to fear death. Death is not the end of the self with a capital S. It's just the end of the body-mind. And so one of the outcomes of an experience of recognizing who you really are, which can come by getting rid of the things that keep you from seeing it, by recognizing, let's say that, like this woman, that you're egotistical, that instead of being egotistical, you come back to a sense of humility, and you say to yourself, I should tell them I love them, not they should tell me they love me and they're grateful for my gifts. You begin to reverse the way it is. You begin to look for the holiness in everyone instead of trying to say, I am something special. Who I am is the way it should be. That's not the way to be over there. This is the practice of being a humble seeker and essentially diminishing the ego to the point where you can see through it to the self. If we will pay attention to our life, we'll be like the pilgrims on the trail. And we can begin to see, while we're on the trail, the transformation that's happening to us that allows us to live like a holy person. And one of those things that the holy man suggests is that you treat each person kindly, that you see beyond who they appear to be, and to recognize that they are holy inside. We could see everyone as holy if we will practice it. And in so doing, we'll begin to see ourselves as holy and begin to have that feeling that we are love itself and that there is nothing to fear, nothing to be too attached to, nothing to be too afraid of. Death cannot really harm us. Let's take that attitude, this moment of realizing who we are. If we could extend it into days, if we could extend it into weeks and months, then maybe they would file by the thousands to our hermitage to see us. Or maybe we would just be a light unto the world that gives people hope to realize who they really are as well. And the world might be just a little brighter because we chose to see the world differently, and our meditations and our actions match the wisdom of the ages, that we are not just a body or a body and a mind, but we are the divine incarnate. May this become each of our realization. Namaste.